Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Where are you from?
I'm from a tiny village in England. Down the closest city to me is called Brighton.
Okay.
Oh, I love Brighton.
Been to Brighton.
Okay, you have? Yeah, Brighton's fun. I'm just a tiny bit further up from that, but I'm from like 2,000 people.
Oh, wow.
Village. Yeah.
Pretty
That's
normal
tiny.
upbringing?
Yeah, I would say so. Single mom, just like very country life. Like when I came to LA, how many cars there was is like terrifying to me. Like no one in my family owns a car. So it's very different.
What?
Yeah.
What do you use, bike everywhere?
We walk. Or we get the train or bus. People do have cars in my village, but like you don't need it.
But it rains like 80% of the time, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, it's
Okay.
miserable. That's
They
why
have
everyone's
umbrellas.
grumpy.
I
Exactly.
mean-
And we can walk with the umbrellas too.
Umbrella in one hand, phone in the other. There's not a lot of room to carry anything
No.
else on
Well,
your
They're
walk.
not all playing Pokemon Go.
At the same time,
They
when
are
it's raining.
probably doing something. Yeah.
They're
I
not
don't
worried
know.
about excellent throws. But okay, so you had a pretty normal upbringing. Was there anything that would maybe indicate that you might become a sex worker later on in life?
I mean, I knew I wanted to be in the sex industry from quite a young age. Like, I was very enamored by women who were very, like, strong female icons who really, I don't know, they embraced their sexuality in a way where they weren't ashamed of it. So I was very like, ooh, that's really interesting and fascinating. Who are these women? So I watched, like, Girls Next Door growing up and stuff like that. I watched Showgirls and I was like, oh, I want to be that woman.
I'm going to assume that the vast majority of like women that you were able to like model yourself after in your life in this village were not
Oh, the
terribly
women in the
open
village.
sexually.
Yeah, I mean, no, you're not having like that many sex workers in the village. But my mum is an artist, so she would take me to like a lot of feminist art projects and shows and galleries. So I had quite an influx of that when I was younger.
So
of,
is she
like,
pro your career?
Yeah. She's pro me being happy, healthy, and safe. And if that includes me being a sex worker, it includes me being a sex worker. As long as those are ticked off, she doesn't quite mind.
So how did you actually get into it?
So I started camming when I was 18. I did that for about a year, maybe just under a year. And I had lots of guys coming to me basically saying that they wanted me to dominate them. So I quickly kind of built this character, being a dominatrix. I'm not naturally very dominant. I'm quite submissive, especially in my personal life. So I did this like whole bratty schoolgirl kind of character. Like the bitchy mean girl at school was my character that I played.
Okay.
And that made you feel comfortable going into these environments because you
Yes.
were able to kind of separate yourself from
Yeah,
it?
I think so. And it's like playing a character. It's like anything you can put on this role, and it makes it also easier to like talk as if you're this person. So I did that, and then I had a guy who was like, hey, if you meet up with me and beat me up, I'll give you like a large amount of cash and money. And I was like, oh, okay.
How much are we talking?
Oh, not that much now, probably about $1,000.
Okay.
But like still,
Coming from a little ass town where it's hard to make a
I'm
living.
not from a wealthy background at all. So
Right.
that to me was like, oh my God, I'm going to hold money like this. That's insane.
Yeah.
So I went naively and just met up with this random guy. Luckily, he just wanted me to like punch him in the face a bit. And I did that, gave me the money. And he was like, you're actually really good at this. You know, there's courses you can take to become better as a dominatrix. So I did loads of research and I found a course, and it's called the London School of Domination. And I took a course for like 3 months
In person or online?
in person. And
Okay,
it's with
okay.
a sub guy.
Tell me about the first day of school. What's happening? Because I really need to know more.
Well, you first go over like consent, boundaries, and aftercare, all the like really important stuff before
Okay.
you actually get to like inflict any pain on the person.
What was your tuition fee for 3 months of
I
domination
don't
school?
remember.
You
It
don't-
was a
I'm
lot
just
of
like,
money. I think it might have been like close to $5,000, something like
You were
that.
committed.
Yeah, and I have a little certification back home saying like I'm certified in domination.
Well, they can charge you a lot because they know that if you do well in this field,
Yeah.
then you're going to be making a lot, right?
Yeah, and also it helps to have a reference. Like the dom community in London is very, very close knit. So if you say, "Oh, I was trained under mistress," blah blah blah, then it's like, "Oh, come here."
You have a
know?
reputable
Mhm,
I
background.
remember
Okay.
the first girl that I hung out with way back in the day, like 15 years ago, probably longer than that, who came to New York where I lived at the time and became a dominatrix. And I remember her telling me how disturbed she was by having to like peg the dudes and
Yes.
also put stuff in their pee holes.
See, I didn't do that.
Okay.
That was my, like, I didn't do pee hole stuff, and I did not do blood work, because a lot of people like their blood drawn.
You just chose to not participate in that from the very beginning? 'Cause
Yeah,
you
like, I
found
was
it
like,
gross?
that's not something I'm doing.
But the pegging is fine.
Yeah, I'll peg guys. It's fine. Not a problem.
Would you say you get turned on by it, or
No.
are you just doing it for a living?
Doing it for a living.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it does anything to me sexually. I mean, the power's quite fun,
Uh-huh.
but it's not like a sexual thing. It's more just like funny.
How far do you have to travel outside of your hometown in order to like start really working in this field? Because I assume in the little town, there's not that many people who are.
No, and equally, I'm not trying to work with like my
Yeah.
my neighbour's called Greg or something. No.
Yeah.
Greg.
So I would travel to London, which is like an hour and 20 minutes away from my village.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then we get all the, like the city bankers, all the like finance boys come in their lunch
Wow.
break, get pegged, and then go back to work. Yeah.
And like a lot of them. This
Yeah,
is like a very
a
common
lot.
thing. And do they travel in groups? Like there's a bunch of bros that work at a software company together, and they're all just coming in to get their butts fucked?
Maybe they're all in on it, but I only saw one guy at a time, so I don't know. But maybe there's like a little queue and they're waiting for each other and like sharing experiences.
I have a feeling none of the guys know about the other.
I don't think so.
It's all in
either.
secret. No one's talking about it after they nut. It's over.
I mean, I've been alive for all these years, and I've never heard a dude talk about it, even though I know like
It
a
happens.
decent percentage of guys are into this. Yeah. Okay, but so in general, though, would you say that you just felt super comfortable with it the whole time, and
Yeah.
you just were all about it?
Yeah, again, it was like it was fun to play a role that I'm not naturally. Like in the bedroom, I'm very submissive. So it was fun to like see the other end of it too. I really enjoyed that. And I did a lot of like sissification stuff, which is where the guys come in and you paint their face like very feminine makeup, put them in quite a feminine, like flouncy dress and teach them to
You
walk in
do
heels.
this?
Yeah, I do this to them.
Oh,
So like they
wow.
carry like
And
we'd-
you just
in
talking
England-
to him like a little bitch the whole time?
no, you're quite well. Sometimes if they want verbal humiliation, but sometimes it's very like you're their like feminine teacher. Like we call it finishing school in England.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
girls get taught to walk with books on their heads and stuff like that. Like you're doing that to these guys that want to come in.
It's you
But then
doing that to a
some-
tech
And,
bro.
and they're getting
Yes.
off on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then but they're not allowed to like come or anything.
Did you have
Okay.
a boyfriend during all this?
I did towards the end of being a dominatrix, yeah. And then I
and he
switched
knew?
to vanilla work. Yeah, he knew I
Didn't
did.
mind at all?
No.
Really?
No, I mean, I wasn't getting touched when I was doing dom work.
Yeah.
In
The
a
guys
way,
aren't allowed
yeah.
to come either.
I could see that bothering me less than dating a traditional prostitute for sure.
It's like you don't have a chance of getting an STD.
No.
You don't have a chance of getting pregnant, but you're also like alone with these strangers
Yes,
in a room.
I mean, where I worked, there was like a lot of cameras and there was a receptionist. Like, it's
Oh.
all very professional in these like posh houses in London.
So is it
It's
legal?
not like in a hotel room. Yeah, it's legal.
Oh, okay. Dominatrix work is legal.
It's
Okay.
legal because it's...
Escorting's legal in England too.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
But it has to be like regulated?
You're not allowed to have more than one sex worker in the same room because then it's deemed as a brothel, and that's illegal because someone's profiting from it. Like a pimp would get arrested, but the girl isn't arrested. If you're profiting from
But
it,
I want two at a time.
outside.
If I'm paying, I want two at a time.
yeah. See, that's somehow then
That's just
deemed
me.
as a brothel.
Okay.
You want your money's worth.
So how long do you do this for?
Dom work, year and a half, I want to say, and then I got really burnt out. Like I just got really bored of it.
Because how
Of
many
the-
clients would you see a day?
Depends. Sometimes one a day, sometimes 5. Like it just depends.
Wow, that's a lot.
And sometimes you'd do overnights with the guys and you'd lock them in cages and stuff. Yeah.
I'm learning so much today.
And that's exhausting because you have to play this like character the whole, like, you have no breathing room, you know?
So even when you got them fully locked up in the cage, you can't just sit on your phone and look at TikTok. You have to
No.
pretend to be this
Yeah, you
evil
have to like tease them and like put your little stiletto in the cage and make them lick your feet and stuff.
all night.
Not all night. Like you'll go and have sleep and stuff, but it's like in a separate.
But then you have to wake up and you have to
yes.
keep doing the same
Yes.
thing. Oh my God.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So I got burnt out, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
After a year and a half, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I want a vanilla job. So I then actually turned into like a tech person. I started doing tech recruitment. So I employed people for like Meta and stuff.
And your history
Okay.
as a dominatrix didn't follow you into this new
I
career?
no, it did not. I did not disclose it either.
Wow.
Did you wear like a mask or anything, or no? You just use
I
a
would
different
face
name.
out, yeah.
Okay.
Different name.